Hey everybody, let's make exercise 24. So take a look at this. This is a pretty neat looking shape here. Um, Looking at the different elevations, okay, I feel like if you look at this drawing right here, it looks like it's a fairly simple shape. You kind of have this external shape that looks like it's got an offset of 10 millimeters inside, and then it looks like it's been extruded across, and this dimension would indicate 100 millimeters. And then it looks like maybe you could create a sketch on top that you could extrude down with a remove extrude to create this kind of center part. And so that's what we're going to do, or at least that's what I'm going to do, and let's see how that works out. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by creating a new document. I'm going to call it EX24. And by looking at my drawing, it looks like the front face would be the place to make the sketch for this. I know some of you are being really arbitrary about which planes to do your sketches on. Your goal is to have your final isometric view look exactly like the isometric view in this picture. And the only way that's going to happen in this case is if we make that first sketch on the front plane. So put that in mind. All right, so let's right click on the front plane, make a new sketch, and let's right click on it again and say hide all planes. Then I'm going to hit the N key to look normal. And I'm going to start making this thing. So the basic sketch is you're going to go up at an angle, across horizontally, down at an angle, and then complete the shape. So it's a four-sided shape. That's kind of a lopsided, what are those things called? Not a parallelogram. Boy, oh boy, does Mr. J show his ignorance of geometry all of a sudden. What the heck is that thing called? Oh man, I'm mad at myself. Oh well, doesn't matter. That thing, we're going to make it. And so I'm going to click on the line tool. Of course, it's going to hit me later. And then I will remember. And there we go. That's our basic shape. Now we're going to use some dimensions to get this thing. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I clicked on the wrong. You know, when I switch back and forth between my computer at school and my computer at home, the keyboards are different, and it drives me crazy. Let me try to fix this. There we go. Okay, I was going to pan it. Instead, I caused havoc. All right, so looking at our dimensions here, we've got 150 wide base, 60 on top, 70 tall, and then you've got a couple dimensions that are going to determine how far over these slanted lines go. So let's do that. So I'm going to get my dimension tool. I'm going to make this one 150. This one is 60. The overall height is 70. And let me zoom out just a bit. Zoom and pan. And the dimension from here to here horizontally is 30. So I'm going to click here and here and drag it. See, you can go out like this. You don't want that. You don't want that. You want that. And there's your 30. And it turns out that's enough because once you establish the angle of this one kind of just falls in line because of all the other dimensions. So there it is. Oh, we're not done because we need to offset this. Okay, so we're going to go get that offset tool. There it is. And I'm gonna click out here and drag and get the whole thing. And there it is. It's offset. Now the offset that we're supposed to do is 10. I don't know what this defaults to, but if I click over here, it gives me the opportunity to enter that. And now I'm going to type in 10. And there's my 10 offset. Okay, and I'm just looking at that to make sure it looks okay. It does look okay to me. Let's compare it to our drawing. That looks proportionally about right. So then I'm going to go ahead and accept the sketch. I'm going to I found that if you right click on the white space, you can select isometric without having to go over to that cube. That's a cool new trick. Okay, now we have to extrude this outside bit for 100 millimeters. So I'm going to make that 100 and click enter. And then I'm going to click on this part right here. And there it is. Okay, I'm going to accept that. I'm also going to right click and say zoom to fit. There you go. Okay, now what we have to do, like I said, is we're going to have to make a sketch. And the way I can tell this is going to work is this view right here, right? Because this is basically just a rectangle that's 100 wide and 60 tall that's lined up with this edge. And if I extrude it downward with a remove extrude, I should be able to make exactly what I'm looking for. So I'm going to right click up here and make a new sketch. I'm going to hit N to orient it the way I want. Now, if I grab this tool and I hover over this line, it doesn't turn yellow. I found a trick. It's called the Use tool. See, it says Use, Project, Convert. If you click on this and click on a line you would like to use in your sketch, because the reason that's not showing up is it's not on the same plane as the sketch itself. It's down below because of that slanted surface. But if I click that, it'll project that line upward so I can use it to line up my rectangle. So I'm going to go over here, click on the rectangle tool, hover over here, drag a rectangle in. It was supposed to be 100 wide and 60 tall. Okay, now it's obviously not lined up where we want it. We want it centered. So I'm going to use the old trick of making a construction line that connects the midpoint of this line to the midpoint of that line. I'll hit escape to get out of that tool, and then I'm going to hit H for a horizontal constraint. Click on there, and now we're nice and lined up. Okay, so that's what I needed from that sketch. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to right click to get back to my isometric view. And the fact that this line is still sticking out there, it doesn't matter, because when we go to extrude it, it's only going to allow us to extrude enclosed areas. Okay, so I'm going to click on extrude, change it to remove. I'm going to click now. It did divide it into two things. That's no big deal. We just click both of them. And then I'm going to say, instead of blind, I'm going to say through all. And there you go. And then I'm going to accept that. And there's our completed part. Not bad. It's actually fairly quick, but I think for people who are trying it on their own, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to do it quickly or if they're going to have to take a couple tries or whatever. But there you are.